Hello, hey, we're here for video number 3. Today our project is to put in a folding rear seat into the 65 bus. Previously the thing had a fixed rear bench seat, which most of them do. So basically you might recognize this, obviously it's a seat, it's out of the bus, and it's going to be able to be turned into, like a Westphalia bus style or bed style. And how that's done is with these mechanisms right here. A very interesting engineering feat and how all of this works, which basically these mechanisms obviously are fixed to the bottom of the bus. This rail right here, this leg fits into this rail here, and then you lift the seat up. You can see the rail raising up high like that and then folding forward. And then this is the seat back mechanism here. Obviously this is mounted into this area here. You bring this forward and then it lays flat, meeting the top of the bus here. So really interested to see how that works out. I think it's going to work great. I'm really excited to be able to sleep in the bus on camping trips and whatnot. Delmar Retro has this kit. They engineered it themselves. They got a great website, just delmarretro.com. Everything came in one small box. That was nice. Not a lot of packaging, so that's super cool. Great instructions, really easy to read. Of course, it's not a very complicated installation, but you've got great diagrams, all kinds of good stuff in there. Also, what I really like too is they've labeled all the parts in their own little bags, give you a parts list here. So far so good. Everything looks great. You can see we've moved around into the main compartment of the bus. Before we're going to mount these in, we got to do a little bit of prep work on these actual main assembly unit. You got to take off the backrest stop, because these bolts are going to be bolted through the fender well. You can see the side of the fender, and it'll make sense later. But basically we need to take that off so we can tie it in and be a lot stronger. Once I get these off, we're going to go ahead and put this apparatus onto the seat legs, and then we're going to flip it over and find the right position for it to live in the back of the bus. I've got the backrest stops already out, so now, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and put this onto the legs of the seat so we can get ready to do a test fitting. So basically, you just flip it upside down. Watch out that doesn't hit anything, scratch you, knock you in the shin, whatever. So put this on there like so, line it up, smash it on. That looks pretty good. I can see a little bit better if I open it up like that. There we go. Now to keep that on there, they give you some hose clamps here, basically, which they're black, which is nice. Alright, you can see now that we have the main assemblies of the seat bottoms on, the backrests are on as well, already mounted on and upside down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and flip this whole seat over, and we're going to let it sit on the carpet right there. We're going to flip this over, and we're going to find a couple of mounting holes. We're actually going to mark a couple of things, and then look to do the complete bolt in on it. Alright, so we have the seat bottom in there. You can see that the carpets came in handy when putting it in here, because we were able to slide it around. Now I'm going to pull the carpets out, so I don't need them anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and make a couple of marks here for drill holes. And again, you're good to get this thing pushed back in the corner. There's 1, 2. Alright, so we've made our pencil marks on the holes here, and we're going to go ahead and drill the holes that are easy to get to here. Obviously we had to mark those back there because the drill would never fit. So again, making sure that this is in there nice and snug in the right position. Grab your drill and a 3/16 bit, and turn the drill going the right way. There we go, there's 1. you can see that I've already put in a few of these bolts already. But again, you've got bolts, you've got lock washers, and then you've got the nuts, which basically it's bolt through. Then underneath you have to go down, and then you put the lock washer on, and then you put the nut on. I was going through this hardware, and I really wasn't satisfied with how small these washers are, so I went down and got some of these fender washers down at the hardware store. These are 3/16, so you know you can find them down there, and I would highly recommend getting them, because now basically what's going to happen, the washer's going to go on underneath there, and then these will go ahead and go onto the fender washer, which will give us a much larger area to grab onto. And alright, so I've attached the hardware in the front using those fender washers like I was talking about before now, and I've also lifted the seat up. I'm going to go ahead and drill the remaining of the holes that are back here for the main apparatus of the seat bottom. So you can see again, I'm going to make sure this is tight over here, but again I've got some pretty good guide holes marked. So here we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and drill the holes in the fender well over here. These are it's a bigger bit, so I think it's a 1/4 inch. I got to find one. Alright, so it was a 1/4 inch drill bit, so I got that going here, and now I'm going to go ahead and drill in through the sidewall into the fender. Nice, and you got another one. Alright, so now we're going to do the fender hardware for the main assembly or the seat bottom. Again, we need to put in the stop mechanism here into this area, which bolts through the fender. Again, that stops the backrest from coming down too far. So what I've done is I've taken one of these, I've pushed it through the fender. You can't quite see it here, but I've used duct tape to make sure it stays in one spot, and if we're lucky, I can capture it and get it, there we go, get it through. Alright, we've got the mechanisms back into the seat back angle stops, or the adjusters here are bolted through the fender now. All the hardware's been bolted in and cinched down. I've kind of looked at everything, inspected it all looks good, and next step we're going to put the seat back on. Alright, next step is to get the seat back in there and do a test fitting there and get ready to drill the holes and get that mounted in. So I put the seat down into its position, and I'm going to put the seat back in onto the arms. You can see here they're movable, and you can see where you drill holes into them. So get this, just kind of slide it in onto the top there. Wow, that fits in nice. You can see that it basically just goes right like that. I got my pencil already, so I can make a little mark. Alright, so now we've taken the seat back out and laid it in the van here. Now we're going to go ahead and drill the holes in here into this round stock that's underneath the upholstery. Alright, now the holes have been drilled. I'm just going to go ahead and put in the screws. Alright, so we've got the seat back hardware all put back on both sides. You can see the screws are in there now. They are a little loose, so if we need a little bit of play when we're putting this back in, you'll see the pin that goes in here will need a little bit of play. So, alright, so we've got the seat back into position. The front seat's been popped up a little bit so that we can get some room in here to go ahead and put our pins back into the angle or the backrest support. So you can see here, you just got to line this up. Alright, we've got everything mounted up. The seat back hardware, we screwed that in. I've got it laid out for the first time in its bed configuration. It looks super cool. The one thing I did have to do though is on the seat back, remember earlier we were talking about on the main seat assembly, those adjusters that came in through the fender, and we had to bolt them on, and they had a little nut on the top. Well, I ended up, lowering this down a couple of inches so that it would be more flat, so I'm more comfortable. Obviously, you're going to have, some sort of mattress over the top of this. This is hard, this is soft, but basically, I think it's all adjusted up and really where it needs to be. Next step is to put in the seat latches. Alright, so we're at the last part of the project. We're almost done. Again, we're going to be putting the seat latches on the back here, stop the seat back from going forward under braking or just for any reason. And basically there's two pieces. This piece mounts onto the seat. You can see there's a little wing nut. that comes off, which then allows you to mount the swing arm or the swing lever that bolts onto the side of the body right here onto that, and that'll keep that from moving forward. So again, two pieces that are going to fit together, and to do that, you want to take the provided screws. There's two different sizes. Obviously, this kit can work on newer Volkswagens as well, but this is the early style, so we're going to go with the early one. So first thing you do, washer, then here's the arm, and then the rubber grommet, which you need to put on there so that allows a little bit of movement when you're trying to go ahead and bolt this down onto that when you're in the driving position of the seat up. And then again, another washer behind it, and then find the factory hole right there. Everything screws in with a Phillips head. We'll just kind of let that get a little snug, nothing crazy yet. And now we're going to go ahead and take this one, put it on here like so. It's gonna, actually it's nice because you're going to be able to use the factory screw holes on this one as well. And line up the holes, find the holes, start screwing, there we go. There's the first one, almost. I know you want to go in there. There it is. And the second one. Goes in there. Pretty easy. There it goes. So again, you know, I'll go ahead and adjust this, but this arm, I'm kind of in the way here to make this work, but this arm is going to come up and mount on, and basically you'll hold those together, obviously without the wing nut, but we'll go ahead and get this tightened up, and then we'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. All right, project's done. It's over. Not a bad afternoon.